No gold is not enough.
Welcome to another episode of Gigatech. First of all, I would thank you to all my viewers and subscribers for their support. If you're new to my channel, please do like, share, and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press notification bell. So today we are going to talk about how to write test cases in BDD. So for writing the test cases in BDD, we should use Gherkin to write test cases. So today we will look at how we can write manual test cases in BDD using Gherkin, so that can be easily consumed by automation test suites also. So let's start. So this is our today's agenda. First, we will talk about the inception of Gherkin. Then we will talk about keywords and their meanings, which are used in Gherkin format for writing the test cases in BDD. Afterwards, we will talk about some best practices when we write the test cases in BDD format. Afterwards, we will see the couple of examples. We will also see the example of how to test an API test case, and how we will see how we can write the same test cases when we write that same scenario in UI. Last but not the least, we will talk about pros and cons of language. So, as a part, as introduction of Gherkin, Gherkin is a language that developers use to define the test cases in BDD framework. Mainly, this Gherkin is used in the automation framework, the BDD framework, but we can also use in our manual test cases, as it's the language is used in plain English and describe the use cases for a particular software system in a way so anyone can understand almost. You don't have to require deep technical knowledge to understand those scenarios. It is very easy to understand for a developer, for a manager, for a BA, and the other stakeholders who are taking participation in the requirement of the project and its life cycle. So that's why the Gherkin came into the picture, that whenever we are writing the test cases, as it is uses the very basic English language, so it is easy to understand and everybody on the same page that what scenario we have written over there to test. So we will see first what keywords we have to use in BDD when we use the Gherkin to write the test cases, and what are their meanings. So here the keywords which I am showing you, they are common in automation framework, BDD framework, which we can use in our manual test cases whenever we want to write the test cases. And also there are a couple of more keywords which we are not using in manual word, because those are quite specific to automation framework. So I just pick only those keywords to use which can be easily adopted in manual, and they, whenever we write the test cases for a functional test part, and they can be easily consumed in the automation framework. So whenever those requirements need to be automated, there is no rework required for that. So the first keyword is feature. So what feature means, that the file should have an extension dot feature file. Okay, so this is an automation part. So what the feature means, that we should mention with the keyword feature, that what feature we are going to test. Okay, is it a login scenario, or is it related to fetching the data from DB, or it is for updating the records, or it is adding the records. So we can mention those things in the feature part in our test case. Okay, the second is scenarios. So the scenario means what scenario we are going to test. So for a particular feature, there can be multiple scenarios. Okay, for in case of login, there can be a multiple scenarios, where first is the valid login scenario, another one is invalid login scenario, so something like that. So using the scenario keyword, it's very good. So it gives us a very clear picture that what scenario we are using. So the third one is, which is a very important, given. So the given keyword is used to put the system in a familiar state before user interacting with the system. So in a summer way, we can say that it's a prerequisite. Okay, it's a precondition that before performing some action on our system, this requirement should be in place. Okay, while before we want to perform any action on our system, so there is a particular requirement should be in place. So based on that, we are going to perform all our actions. So the fourth one is when. When is the step to define the action performed by user. So whatever action we are going to perform on our system, we will mention in the when part. Fifth is then. So then keyword is used for mostly for the verification part. The way the keyword is used to come to see the outcome of the action which we have performed in the when step. So whatever we have performed on when step, the results, the outcome will be verified in then part. The another two more keywords are there, but and. So a but is an additional test case step which defines the action outcome. Okay, so whatever we have performed on when, so if we want to see an additional outcome along with the one outcome, so we can add it using but also over there. The seventh is and is the additional test step. Okay, so it can be defined on any part. It can be on the given, it can be on when, and it can be on the then. So we can use and in the couple of more part whenever we want to write the test cases. When we need a couple of input, we need to provide couple of input, or we need to provide couple of prerequisite. If we want to provide more than one verification part, then we can use and. So the best thing is that we should use less ends. Okay, one or two ends will be great, not more than that. It's a good thing not to use more and. Okay, we can write multiple test cases for that if we want to verify more and more than for that. So now let's see what is the best practices while writing the Gherkin test cases while writing the test cases in Gherkin format. So there are a couple of best practices part we should understand. So the first is each scenarios should be executed separately. Okay, so which means that every scenario has should be independent from the another one, and it should cover the complete part of that particular scenario. Suppose if we want to test a login scenario in which we want to verify the valid login credentials we have, then there should be a separate scenario for that. And if we want to verify what error we will receive when we provide an invalid credentials, so it should be a separate scenario. Okay, the two scenarios should not be combined. Okay, or the test cases should not be written in such a way so which create confusion. So we will not able to understand that what kind of scenario is this. So everybody can understand easily. So this is the feature, the login feature, and now we are mentioning the valid credential part. We want to verify the valid credential, what happened with our system when we provide the valid credential for login. The another scenarios to test this, which is a negative scenario, that what will happen, what kind of error messages we will receive when we write the test cases for the invalid credentials. Okay, so there should be a separate scenario for that. And connect our scenarios with our requirements to keep a complete track of what scenarios should be included in a requirement document. Okay, so again the scenarios should be properly connected with our requirement. Whatever we have the requirement, based on those requirements we should create the scenarios. Suppose for an example, if we want to fetch data from DB for a particular student based on their student ID, their scholar number, or their name, then if this is our requirement, then all the scenarios should be propagated from that particular requirement. And scenario should cover all the requirement features in itself. Okay, so if we have that particular requirement, then there might be chances for a one requirement there are around 10 scenarios, or there might be chances we have 5 scenarios for that requirement. It all depends on the requirement again, that what is the requirement, and we should try to cover more and more scenarios so we can test our system in a very good manner. Create modular and easy understanding steps. Okay, we should not use more and or more but. We should try to mention the easy steps for that. Okay, given we have this login page is available with us, when we enter credentials, valid credentials with that, and then we will able to log in. So it should be quite easy to make them quite easy to understand, because if we are trying to mention more and more complicated things, then Gherkin purpose will be lost. Okay, don't try to be add more and more technical part. Just make it easy. Try to be more easy with your task steps, so which can be understand to everyone. And again, we are separating different scenarios, so by modularizing this thing, we can make it very clear to everyone that okay, what requirement we are going to test and how we are going to test. It will be easy to understand. Again, try to combine all common scenarios. If we have some common scenarios, then try to be combine them. Okay, don't try to be duplicacy for that. So in case if we have some search scenario based on one or two fields only, then we should write only one scenario for that. So it will decrease the duplicacy or redundancy of the test cases. So here, this is the first example I'm going to present, that how we can write the test case manually, which can be consumed directly in our automation test suite. So the first example I'm going to show you that how we can write the API testing scenario. Okay, suppose I am having a feature which what my API do, it will fetch the employee data. Okay, so this is my requirement that I am having one GET API with me. So what that API will do, it will fetch all the data of a particular employee from DB. So I just mentioned feature fetch employee data. So now my first scenario, what I'm going to there might be chances that I have 10 or 12 scenarios for this particular feature. So based on my requirement, I will create different scenarios. So my first scenario will be fetch employee data based on employee ID. There might be a chance that we can fetch employee details based on their department, based on their name, based on their address, based on their job title. Okay, so there can be numerous scenarios for that. So I just picked one scenario for that. So for each, so such kind of requirements, we should have a separate scenarios with us, and for the negative ones, we have a separate scenario. So it should, so what it will do, it will modularize the scenarios. It will modularize the functionality, and it will be very easy to understand for the for everyone in the project, that what we want to achieve with that. So here the test case step what I have written is that given user has valid get API with employee endpoint. Okay, so I am having an endpoint for an employee API with that. So this is my prerequisite. When user enter employee ID as E009, I just marked it as double quotes, because this is the keywords. This is a pattern to write for the Cucumber framework and for JBehave, whatever the frameworks for the BDD they are supporting. So we mentioned it. So this is our input value. This is the variable which we are going to use. We are providing the input value for testing. So I just mentioned in double quotes in that. Again, it is for the consumption of automation. Also, it gives a very good look to anyone, that if we are writing for manual test cases also, so it will highlight our input data. So it's good to mention in this format. So employee ID is E009 at query param. So I have mentioned that in my API in query param, I'm going to mention my employee ID is E009 and click on submit, because I have to perform two actions. So I mentioned both the actions. First one for entering the employee ID, and second one is for clicking on button submit. So I used N button over here. Then I will receive responses 200. This will be my HTTPS response, and I will receive employee name as Jonathan, and again in my response I will receive employee ID as E009. So there are only two verifications I have to do. The three verifications. So I've just tried to cover up in the one this only one scenario only. If I am having suppose if I am having numerous of the data, then what I will do, I will verify those data. If I'm having 20 fields or 10 fields, then I will cover up those verification in different test cases. Suppose if I am getting the data based on employee ID, and if I am getting employee details for 10 fields, So what I will do, I will break up it in the 3 or 4 fields in one test case in one scenario, and I will break the other fields into the second scenario, which might be a case where I'm going to search the employee details based on employee name. So it will be good for that. Okay, so this is a very simple and very basic thing which I have covered over here. So you can write the API test case. Okay, so the same scenario, if we are going to test on UI, okay, if we having front end with us, then how we are going to write it? Again, the fetch employee data, which is the feature scenario, fetch employee data based on employee ID. So given user is at search page. Okay, so before that we could have login scenarios with us. We have a separate requirement for that, so that could have a different test cases for that. But for fetching the employee data, I have created a very specific test case for that. So user is at search page. Okay, so this is a prerequisite to searching all the records of the employee. User should be at search page, on that page where he is going to fetch the employee data. When user enters employee ID as E009 at employee field, okay, there is a field where I am going to mention my employee ID, again E009, and click on submit. So I have to perform 2 action steps over here. So I have used add and keyword over here. Then employee name display as Jonathan and employee ID is display as E009. So here we are not verifying any HTTPS response because those responses are required to be validated on API end. Here on UI, we don't need to verify those responses. Yes, in case of any error messages, we can mention those error messages over here in the end part of, again, that no record found, invalid data input, or something like that, whatever we have the requirement for that. So these 2 examples are very, very easy examples, very basic example to understand and how we can start writing the BDD test cases in Gatling language. So it is very easy to understand for everyone, for PO, for business stakeholders, for developers, for testers. So if you write your test cases in this format, then it is very, very easy to understand for everyone that what scenario you are testing, for which feature you are testing the test cases, for which scenario you are going to write the test cases, what feature you are going to test, how many scenarios you are covering for that. So it's very easy to understand. Okay, so last but not the least, we are talking about pros and cons. So there are advantages, many advantages for Gherkin, but there are a couple of disadvantages also of Gherkin, that it might not work for all the scenarios. Many times our test cases might be more focused on technical part, so it's very cumbersome to write the test cases which focus more mainly on technical side. So it's not easy for writing that. If we not write test cases in proper format, then it would increase our test maintenance cost. Suppose if I am using too much and in my given, in my when or then it will create quite confusion. And again, we need to identify that, okay, for this one of the test case, I need to verify this that much amount. So it will be, again, maintenance cost will be increased because I have to verify all the things in one test case. And whenever we are going to verify more than 5 or 6 things in one test case, then it is very, very cumbersome for us to identify the things. We might miss the things. Uh, in case of a high level of business engagement, collaboration is very pretty much required, because based on the user stories which is provided by BA or business or PO, based on those requirements, we are writing our test cases. So yes, business engagement and collaboration is pretty much required. Okay, so based on those requirements, we can brainstorm with each other, and we can write our scenarios properly. Again, when we talk about the pros of this format of writing test cases, the Gherkin links accept the cases directly to automated test cases, which I told you that it is very good to write test cases in BDD format. So what happen with very minor changes or no changes, test cases will directly consume in automated test suites, which is very, very helpful for team. It saves time for automation engineer. to maintain these test scripts, to maintain the framework. It will be very helpful, that because whenever a person who test the functional testing, who perform the manual testing, he knows more and more scenarios which need to be covered. So if we written those test cases or all the scenarios in BDD format, then we can directly consume all those things in our automation test suite. Uh, Second point is Gherkin script can easily understand by business executive and developers. You don't need a set of knowledge required to understand the Gherkin scripts. Whatever test case we write in Gherkin format, it's easy to understand, as it's in very easy English language. We mention our requirements, our steps, our test cases over there. So it is easy to understand. It doesn't require too much technical knowledge or any scripting knowledge or anything like that. So it's very easy to understand. Gherkin links the again, we don't need to expert to understand the small Gherkin command set. We don't require to understand that how ends work, how given works. Okay, we just need to write the test cases in that particular format, and it will be very helpful. So this is all about the writing the BDD test cases using the Gherkin format. I have given you the very basic scenario about how we can start. Okay, this is not about the advanced level. Okay, I just give you a very brief idea so how you can start your test cases writing in BDD format using Gherkin. So once you start it, okay, then it will help you. Then you will find very interesting it, and it will very helpful for you, that it is because whenever you're writing these scenarios in Gherkin, it is easily understand by business, so they can know that okay, this much effort you have put, and this are the things you have covered in testing for a particular requirement. Because what happens in traditional ways, when we write the test cases, business having a problem to connect with your scenarios. They are not able to connect that what you have tested or what you have not tested. So BDD bridges that problem. BDD solves that problem because we write in a very simple English format, so it is very easy to understand for business that what we have covered for a particular requirement. Again, those user stories are created by business are also in BDD format, so it's easy to connect with them. And after this the BDD1, we are trying to cover a couple of BDD frameworks, automation test frameworks. We will going to cover in our next sessions, in upcoming sessions. So if you want to more understand about BDD, I am having one more video on BDD. You can find it in the end of the video, the thumbnail for that video. So you can go through with that what is the significance of BDD in current software testing world. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you for your time. You just like, share, and subscribe my channel if you are new to my channel. Thank you for your support.